Have you ever thought about a nation that carved palaces out of mountains? A people who used to say,
"Who is stronger than us?"
But when the command came from the sky, their palaces were buried beneath the earth. After Prophet Nuh, another nation arose, the people of Aad. They lived in Al-Ahqaf, a region between Yemen and Oman. Their city was called Iram Dhat al-Imad, the city of lofty pillars that seemed to touch the sky. Their bodies were as strong as mountains. Their height seemed to reach the clouds, and their pride pierced the heavens. They used to say,
"We are the inheritors of the earth, and we will remain forever."
Across the sands of Ahqaf, their settlements stretched far and wide. The ground trembled beneath their horses' hooves. At night, the lights of their city shone from a distance, as if their city were a crown upon the earth. In their gatherings, they would often say,
"No people greater than us will ever exist again."
Even their children would lift stones at a young age to display their strength, and the elders would proudly say,
"We told the world we could bend the mountains. Our children prove it to be true."
The people of Aad had another strange belief. They thought the wind was their servant. Their young men would stand in the valley, spread their arms, and laugh, saying,
"Look, the wind follows our bodies."
Their elders would boast,
"Our forefathers could control the direction of the wind. Who can stop us?"
When they saw storms approaching from afar, they laughed and said,
"The wind is with us, knights. It will fall upon our enemies, not us."
But they did not know that the wind coming toward them had already become their greatest enemy. The people of Aad were not only tall, their physical build was many times larger than ordinary humans. Near riverbanks, their footprints could be found between mountains, leaving people astonished. Their doors of their homes were so tall that a horse and rider could enter upright. Their utensils were made of stone, so large that an entire family's meal could be cooked in one vessel. Time passed, and their arrogance only increased. Then Allah sent to them His Prophet Hud, peace be upon him. He said,
"O my people, worship Allah alone. You have no deity besides Him.
Do you want us to abandon the religion of our forefathers? We are powerful. No one can overpower us."
Hud, peace be upon him, warned them again.
"I fear for you a punishment you cannot even imagine."
But when hearts are filled with pride, advice shatters like a stone hitting rock. Every day, Hud, peace be upon him, went to their markets, their palaces, their gates, giving them the final call. Their chiefs would laugh and say,
"If there were any truth in your words, our palaces would have already collapsed."
Some children mocked him. Others changed their path when they saw him, afraid that fear of Allah might enter their hearts. One day, Hud, peace be upon him, entered their assembly, where their leaders sat on golden thrones. He said,
Look at the system of nature created by Allah. Your strength is nothing.
Stop these small threats. If punishment comes, we will stop it with our power.
A few days before the punishment, a strange scene appeared in their valley. At night, a deep sound echoed from the sky. No thunder roared, No lightning flashed, but it felt as if something was calling from afar. The people of Aad said,
It is just the sound of the mountain.
Hud, peace be upon him, said,
This is not a call of mercy. It is a warning.
The next night, the earth trembled slightly, so slightly that only animals grew uneasy. The people of Aad laughed.
Even the earth fears our strength.
They did not know it was the earth's final protest. Then came Allah's decree. First came a drought. For 3 years, not a single drop of rain fell. Rivers dried up, gardens burned, the land turned to stone. They looked toward the sky, waiting for rain, but the sky answered with silence. The first year, they said,
This is a minor issue. We are strong.
The second year, thirst dried their tongues. Empty pots struck against walls. Animals collapsed from dehydration. By the third year, the laughter and pride that once claimed to challenge the sky had vanished. When some of them came to Hud, peace be upon him, he simply said,
Now the time of punishment is near.
One day, 3 clouds appeared, one red, one white, and one black. A voice called from the heavens, O people of Aad, choose one cloud. Their leaders laughed and chose the black cloud, saying,
It carries rain and mercy.
But they did not know it carried wrath. The sky turned dark, the wind became cold. The people began celebrating.
Look, the rain has come!
But it was not rain, it was a storm of punishment. The first gust came, dust and stones flew. With every blast of wind, it felt as if their very names were being erased. The second gust came, trees fell, animals were swept away. Their idols, their pride, their gardens, their city, all scattered into the air. At night they held their children tightly, but the wind roared louder than their screams. The third blast lifted people into the air. Their palaces, once speaking to the sky through towering pillars, dissolved beneath the sand. For 7 nights and 8 days the storm raged. The sky thundered, the earth shook, their glory was reduced to dust. When the wind stopped, there was only silence, a sea of sand and bodies like hollow trunks of fallen palm trees. But those who believed with Hud, peace be upon him, were saved. Allah gave them refuge in the mountains. Hud, peace be upon him, stood overlooking the destroyed valley, tears in his eyes.
These were the people who once said, Who is stronger than us?
The end of arrogance is always destruction, and disobedience to Allah leads to ruin.
Even today, beneath the sands of Ahqaf, the city of Iram remains buried, a testament that honor comes not from power and pride, but from obedience to Allah.